What's going on, everyone? It's Patrick Deng here. And so in this video, I'm going to talk all about why I started a brand new NFT agency. Before we go ahead and get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, first of all, the thing I have to talk about is like why even get into NFTs in the first place, right? And we'll talk about what the agency is and everything like that. But essentially around December, I started a new YouTube channel called The Parallax. So if you want to subscribe to that, if you want to learn about NFTs and crypto, just type in The Parallax on YouTube, or we'll probably put a link in the description so you can check it out. So essentially what I was doing was I was just like talking about the news and project analysis about NFTs, because I just got really passionate about NFTs, what the potential that technology could do and how it could be a different fundraising mechanism for a lot of interesting companies that would have not existed without this technology, right? And so over time, as I started doing YouTube, I launched my own NFT project, which was quite successful. It's called The Parallax Genesis. We completely sold out. So if you want to check that out as well, we'll put that link in the description. But essentially what I did was I created this community around people that were passionate about NFTs, right? And this community, basically it's my YouTube community where I kind of gave them an NFT, which is like a pass to join our Discord, like a private Discord. And there we have discussions about NFTs for members only. We have special perks and benefits. We give you free giveaways and things like that. We also have like these master courses, live courses about how to launch an NFT project, how to do NFT marketing and things like that. And as I started to do these things, a lot of companies took notice, like a lot of successful companies that were, not into NFTs, but they want to move into NFTs. They started reaching out and they were like, hey, Patrick, we love your YouTube. I'm a holder. I have your NFT and I'm launching this project, but I really need your help. And at the time, I didn't really want to provide services, right? Because it's harder to scale and you have to like work for someone in a sense and help them out do their thing. But I kind of thought about it and I was like, okay, well, this actually might be a pretty good gateway into a lot more bigger plans that I have in the future. So I was like, all right, well, how about I just give you a price and help you out with whatever you need, and then you let me know if that price is cool. And so I gave a price which was pretty fair for me and was enough to make me feel excited to actually do the project. And for the most part, nobody really negotiated the price, so I probably could have charged more. And then they were just like, yeah, we really need your help, so like whatever we can get. And then that's pretty much how I started consulting and advising these projects and specifically helping them launch their NFT projects. A lot of people might be wondering like, oh, okay, so I do like B2B sales. How does this relate to starting an NFT agency, right? And the thing I've learned is that because I developed this skill set of sales, marketing, human psychology, understanding what's cool. Basically, I package that into a bottle and I'm able to sell it as a service, right? So these projects that are coming to me, these companies are like successful Web2 companies. They want to be seen as innovative. They want to do something different. They want to dip their toe into Web3, not take too much risk, but, be on the forefront of that, just in case this becomes like the next big industry. And what they really need help with is just like having the right strategy, speaking to the NFT community in a way that doesn't feel tacky and corporate-y, but like really native to the audience, and really just to make their messaging a lot cooler, right? And so for me, what I do is I help them with their communications, their sales, marketing, their core offer of what they're offering to this audience, just to make sure that like everything makes sense from the perspective of a buyer, right? And if you think about it, that's really just sales. It's actually the same thing I've been doing for so many years. It's just going deep into one particular niche, which is the NFT space, and helping them sell their products and services. Now, could I apply this skill set to any other industry? Absolutely. But the riches are in the niches. For me, I really believe in the future of crypto and NFTs. And a lot of people do value the knowledge that I have in my ability to sell and communicate in this space. So, by using the skills that I have already developed for so many years, combining it with like this new industry, I kind of created like a lane of my own where it's kind of difficult for people to compete directly against me. So when someone, for example, is thinking about purchasing my advisory services and I help them with the sales and marketing and making the project cool, there's really no competition, right? They're not really thinking, oh, should I go with this person or that person? It's just like, I want to work with Patrick. How much money does he want? And I am pretty much able to command higher prices and have that unique selling point because I developed these skill sets that are very hard to develop over the years. And especially that NFT knowledge, I developed pretty fast. It's been almost 1 year actually since I've been in the NFT space, but really seriously, I started in December of last year. But yeah, I feel like I got pretty far in a short amount of time, and seems like people value this information and also value my connections in the space, which I can also use to help them sell their project. A question that people might have is why exactly do people come to me versus anybody else, right? And I think it's first, number one, the way I kind of moved in the NFT space was very ethical, right? So there's a lot, I would say 90%, of the project founders in this space are just scammers, creating Ponzi schemes. They're just out to make money, and they really don't try to contribute anything to make the space better. Whereas for me, I definitely took less money, but I did the right thing, and I'm really trying to push the space in a positive direction, right? So other people definitely make more money by scamming people in a short run. I guess you can continue to keep doing it if you keep yourself anonymous, but like for me, you know, I put my name out there right from the bat. Everybody knows I'm Docs, I'm Patrick Dang, and I already have like this sales channel and things like that. So I always did it the right way, and I was able to launch my project in the right way as well and completely sell it out. I'm still working really hard to make my project a success, making sure people are happy with what they buy, making sure the community is strong and all these things, right? And so when people see that, my potential clients see that, they're like, yo, this guy's legit, you know, like he actually tried to do it the right way. And that's what they want for themselves, right? Because like the good founders who are doxed, meaning that people know their real identity. And if you didn't know, NFT space, a lot of people hide behind a persona. So when you're doxed, it's like you have to like keep your reputation in mind, right? And so because they see me doing something that they want to do, that's why they come to me specifically. Now, the selling point I personally have is like, one, I talk about NFTs. I'm really updated with what's going on in the space, the news, the sentiment, all these things. So I have like, I'm on the ground floor, right? And that's very specialized knowledge. Number two, I launched my own project that is somewhat successful. People are really happy with what they have. I don't have any negative things people are saying about me. So not only do I talk about projects, but I also have my own project that is somewhat successful. And a lot of people on YouTube, when they have an NFT, they don't have successful projects, or they rug pulled, right? They like pretty much scamming their subscribers, or they launched a lot of projects are actually scams, and they, you know, don't tell anyone that they launched it. So all these like shady things, or maybe they just talk about stuff, but they don't actually do, right? You don't want to hire someone that just talks. You want someone that can talk and do. And so because I have that combination of my ability to communicate and also run a project, that gives me a lot more credibility compared to the average influencer. And because I'm so out there, I do these interviews and all these things, like a lot of people know who I am, right? So by me creating content, I was able to launch my own project and gain a lot of experience, which because of that experience makes my content a lot better. Now, when clients come to me because they see this, I'm able to consult them, advise them, help them out however I can, and help their projects become a success as well. And because I do that, I gain more experience as an entrepreneur and an agency and someone who runs an agency, I suppose. That also makes my content a lot better. And it also makes my project a lot better. So it's like this flywheel cycle where as I talk more about NFTs, I get to help more people, I get more experience, and I get to talk about these NFTs and the business side of everything more competently, and because I have much more experience than your average influencer, right? Who just only talks about stuff and reads the headlines. And so that's why a lot of people come to me because I don't just talk the talk, but I walk the walk. One interesting thing about the crypto and NFT space is that early mover advantage is definitely real. Like on my NFT YouTube channel, I think I have around like 16,000 subscribers there. But if I had started, let's say like 3 months or 4 months before I actually started, like, you know, if I started YouTube in August of last year, I would have probably had like 50,000 subs by now, right? So just getting in at the hot time when the market's pumping up is actually very important in getting subscribers in the NFT space. Right now, it's like pretty much like all-time low volume. So it's like very hard for everybody to get subscribers, but early mover advantage is definitely something important because the more experience you have, it's just kind of like a lot of people die in the space, meaning like they get burnt out or they don't want to work in it or they're not making money and they just leave. But if you're able to come in early and reap the rewards of like a bull market and continue to survive during a bear, by the time the second bull market comes, there's only going to be a few people who are very experienced and were able to survive. Yeah, getting in early is important. Making money is important, especially during the times when it's difficult to make money during a bear. But if you can make money during a bear, which fortunately because I have an agency, I am able to do, then you're in a really strong position. So a lot of people, they don't believe in NFTs. They think it's a scam. They think Web3 is like just a buzzword. They think crypto is just a Ponzi scheme, and they're not wrong. I would say like 90% of it, maybe 98% of that NFT crypto space is a scam and a Ponzi scheme, but there's going to be that, 5%, 2%, 1% that actually are legit, right? So for example, I recently bought a Clone X, which is an NFT project owned by Nike, and Nike acquired them. And like, you can see that they're doing a lot of revenue, and it's really like a brand, a business line created that's under the Nike umbrella, right? So if you're going to call NFTs a scam, you might as well call Nike a scam, right? It's definitely not a scam in that regard, where it's like a business that produces money and produces value for people to be happy to spend their money to consume a product or service. I think we're just in the early stages where there's just not a lot of good examples quite yet. Like Artifact Studios and Clone X is probably one of the few examples of a project able to generate revenue outside of creating more NFTs. And they are creating NFTs, but it comes with a physical product. But we're going to see more companies in the luxury side do this. We're going to see restaurants do this. Maybe 10 years from now, you're going to see your local coffee shop have an NFT as a membership card, most likely. So for me, I just think of it like a obvious technology that people will use. And at the end of the day, all an NFT is a digital membership. So like they already exist, right? You have a Starbucks card. Technically, that's like an NFT. It's not really an NFT, but like the concept of that is an NFT. Starbucks rewards points, that's like a token, right? So it's like all this stuff actually already exists. The only difference is that it's on the blockchain. Yeah, I think it's a huge future, huge potential. And if you're able to take the risk and ride the wave, like it's literally like a life-changing career opportunity for a lot of people, in my personal opinion. Question one of my team asked is, should people jump into crypto? Should they jump into Web3? Should they jump into this kind of stuff? I would say, like, if you enjoy it, why not? I think that it's just the next evolution of technology, right? So of course there's going to be the standard regular like Web2 like technology businesses, right? Which is cool. But I feel like if you're someone that wants to work in tech, you might as well just do a Web3 startup, you know, or work under a Web3 brand, because it's more exciting, it's faster, you learn more. I think sooner or later all these other companies are going to catch on and they're going to implement their own Web3 strategies and NFT strategies. So I think if you want to be on the cusp of innovation and you want to be ahead of the curve and you want to learn and meet like very interesting people who are down to take this kind of risk and intellectually curious, you just got to ask yourself, do you want to be in that type of environment? And I would say, like, personally for me, a lot of my friend circle and the friends I've been making over the past year definitely have become a lot more interesting, just because it's like you attract kind of like more interesting characters in this space, right? Because they have to see a vision or a future that doesn't quite exist yet. And if enough people believe in something, eventually it becomes real. The next question my team had is like, well, what's the point of even sharing this story with you guys? I think for me, it's just to give you guys a little update on like what's been going on with me, myself. And you know, an interesting part about doing this whole agency thing is that, you know, I'm back in the game of like, you know, doing B2B sales, closing these like large deals with these clients and stuff like that. And so it's a more B2B sales practice for me, not that I need it, but like, you know, you're back in the game again, in a sense. So I guess like as I move forward with this channel in general, so far, if you guys have been watching me for a bit, I kind of started with that whole like cold email, you know, sales call, top 5 ways to do like sales prospecting kind of thing. And I think because now we have over 100,000 subscribers, thank you very much for everyone that subscribed. We're definitely going to take it more in the business route, more general, kind of like, you know, a Gary Vee, a Alex Hormozi, you know, like that kind of character where it's more like, I'm going to run this business, I'm going to do my NFT thing, and I'm going to share all my experiences with you guys and share just, you know, what I'm doing, right? And hopefully it inspires you to do your own thing, whether it's to get into Web3, start an agency, get into sales, right? Because sales is still pretty important. But yeah, that's kind of why I share it with you. And if you are interested in, let's say, like learning how to start your own agency, or maybe learning how to do tech sales, you definitely want to check out Sales Legacy, honestly, right? Because it is my course that I do have on sales, and pretty much all the things I do when it comes to starting an agency, really just like selling a product or service, right? Sales Legacy does teach you how to do that. And that's pretty much my recommendation. If you're someone that's trying to get into sales and working Web3 and you want to do business development, perfect. If you want to start your own agency, also really good, right? So that's just a little plug, but obviously you don't have to buy, it's totally up to you, but link is in the description, saleslegacy.com. And so that's pretty much an update on what's been going on in my life so far. Pretty excited to share with you like how this whole journey plays out. It's almost like a beginning of a new career. So you're gonna definitely see like more interesting content in the future, more dynamic, more personal. Maybe we'll do some more vlogs, get someone to follow me around with a camera, kind of like Gary Vee. I will have to see. But yeah, so that's everything we have to cover in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know if you're interested to see more about this NFT journey by leaving it in the comments.